Do you have any questions this time?
I really appreciated your explanation. I really appreciated your explanation of the logistics of core devotion. But my question is, you gave the analogy of the sun, trying to start a fire with the sun, and using the Lama as the magnifying glass. Why wouldn't it equally work to use meditation on emptiness or visualization or insight into emptiness? Why wouldn't that work as well? But to start the fire.
Pedinang Nimatang Shogudang Sheldi Lamatiche Da Naranso Tongbanyigi Nelu Komjapni Lamadigi Tsap Zotugas Tongbanyi Nelu Nyamni Tonga Injiminji Lama go back. Kainas.
I didn't get so it's just temporary your day. Lambia, Tata Sherry, you so
And so, based upon the foundation of the two truths, then one must have complete, all put together, the whole path of the skillful means and wisdom. So if you, without meditating upon the Lama Nalajor, and you have faith, devotion in the three jewels, and you have the view of the of emptiness, and you have the altruistic motive, great compassion for the benefit of all beings, actually this is okay, that's good enough. You will eventually attain Buddhahood, but it's very difficult with that to attain Buddhahood with this body, in this lifetime.
Lama yidam yelme, chunyong go bayina, lama gobu yelme. In the lama yidam yelme, lama gobu yelme gobu. In the lama yidam yelme, the lama gobu yelme go bayina.
And so then, if you practice the secret mantrayana path, where you would practice the phases of the practice of the yidam, then actually you must recognize the Lama and the yidam being inseparable, of the same, being the same and inseparable. And same, if you practice the protector, then you must recognize the Lama is inseparable from the protector. And if you're able to have this view, then you will traverse the path very quickly. Kolugombo.
Lama sen kolugombo. Ini kune angkala ya Jesu doyo ya.
Lasa. Kolu sen zambulingi. Oh, lasa. Kolugombo. That's it. That's it. That's it. And in the secret Mantrayana, then the Lama is referred to as like the Lord of the Wheel, in that it goes everywhere. And as an example of like the Lord of the Wheel is the way the Lama can be considered. And so, as a beginner, if you do not have your root Lama, you haven't actually encountered and recognized your root Lama, and yet you receive empowerments and so on, and you consider all the Lamas that you receive empowerments from as one essence, then this is okay. And generally, in the Laminalgur practice, then one must think that all lamas of this one essence. And then you may approach you may find one Lama who has you see those qualities of that one Lama, and you have naturally great faith, and you appreciate that lineage transmission of that Lama, and so you have great faith. This is one way you can identify your root Lama, or the Lama that actually gives you the pointing out instructions that causes you to recognize your own nature. This is your root Lama. So those are the two ways you can recognize your root Lama, either through the natural faith or through the one that gives you the pointing out instructions that enables you to recognize.
Sorry.
No.
To the mic. He's handing you the mic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you've given us the reason why Guru Yoga happens, why it works, and so forth. But could you say a little more about what is the student's part in this? What is the practice or heart opening, or what is the student's part in Guru Yoga?
Laminaljuki summaris. Tene lomegi chola. Loma karna leka karche gorese. That's it. We haven't finished yet. It's coming shortly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does the death of one's root guru affect the practice of Guru Yoga?
So, if the Lama dies, the Guru Yoga doesn't need to die. So, this that you see with your eyes as the shape and the form, the body, in other words, of the Lama. That's not the Lama. The essence of the Lama is the Dharmata itself. There is no death in that.
I have two questions. The first is with respect to the posture and the gaze that you mentioned, that there were three positions, one up, level, and down. Is the eye supposed to be looking outwards or inwards? I'm a little confused that sometimes in meditation sessions we're told to look outwards and sometimes it's inside the head.
Me. No, that's it. That's the best of it.
This, when it says like look inwards, this is metaphorical. There is no looking in there. There is no looking inwards. And so it's like you look outwards in this general direction like that, but you're not focusing on any particular point. You're looking in that direction, but it's like seeing everything as your eyes are looking in that direction. So it's like first look out in that direction and then just sort of draw back from it and then perceive the whole field. And some lamas refer to this as now look inward. And so this instruction of look inward, look in, it's not the eye that is able to look in, but just the idea of like gain awareness of that, like that sensation itself of looking. So however you prefer to use your gaze, it's up to you. It's okay that you can just look at it and a specific direction and with a real aim, or you can draw back a little bit, and even though your eyes are in that gaze, you have the whole field, or you can let your eyes go downwards, upwards, whichever way you prefer. And you can change it periodically.
Second?
Second, please.
Yeah.
Can you clarify a little between relaxation of the mind, meditation, and non-meditation?
Tempa yoga to never doubt it.
Tempa yoga.
Tempa yoga. Come. Tempa never did. Come my yoga. Tempa you make it temperature.
That's it. Hupa.
Look, come in, but my temperature.
Ore. Gom dang gomme rabuke. Gom.
Come my yoga.
Oh, dire. Gom dang gomme rabuke.
Ah.
Injiri samgi.
Le tamu bala. Ane. Kaya gome sing kana sigi. Mingyur gomsan meva. Gom ke bezol meva sigi le. Ane. Gom yago hagun gom meva sigi.
So, a question for you. This non-meditation that you speak of, do you mean just like the ordinary way your mind is, like now, for instance, like that as non-meditation, like not meditating? Or are you referring to the very high understanding, yes, understanding of the meditation of non-meditation. What are you referring to?
I guess I don't really know. Non-meditation as in, I was told once that Yvon Rinpoche said he didn't meditate, but he practiced non-meditation. So I guess that's where I learned the term non-meditation.
Derewa gom tobo dere gom meke nyamlen de korla dang gom me yewa karigores.
검색은 배서 주고라 배서 배 써봐지 남중 검색인데 전바지 용이야
맞아.
전바시든지 써봐 또 그나 검는 검에게 희박 가르쳐나 람 타르친 바 있나 람 차상 타르친 바 있나 아니 예화 짠이요 말
맞아.
예화 되나 많이 봐 이거 말아
오래.
이거 검 보고
맞아.
대 또가 타르친 바래
맞아. So this is referring to the like gone to the limit, to the end of the path, where the individual has achieved a state of complete non-distraction. So as there is no distraction, therefore there is no meditation. So at that point, it is like come to the end, to the other shore of meditation, and this is why it's called non-meditation. And so it's to do with the effort, and so one applies effort to the meditation, and at a certain point it is effortless with no distraction.
이내야 다다 나눠서라 만큼 되지 요
That's it. And so, but now at our moment in time, we have this experience of non-meditation. And so if you recognize this ongoing non-meditation, that is meditation. That recognition is the meditation. And so the difference between that is the distraction or non-distraction. Therefore, one must meditate for short periods of time, very frequently.
Rinpoche, one complete their Mingyur practice before taking on some larger practice.
Then laminajur magong hinhunla mundu sargo grevese. No, you don't have to do Mundro first, just you need an empowerment, that's all.
Yana?
Laminanjur, Guru Yoga is very easy. You simply go Lama Cheno, think of the Lama like that.
That light will come on. It means it's on.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Would you explain more about the interdependent conditions in attaining Buddhahood?
Jutamchi tenchin drama res sumares. Dikorla sabu rabuchi sumrunams opardu tarpa sanjiki gopong top yaki. Tendrel tenchin drama dikorla sumrunams.
That's on you go to the Benji door to what they like. 라마지 교신이지 네 간사 로마지 로마라야 시랍단 민지요 네 당마 기념내지 아무도
So here's the example of the interdependent conditions that result in attainment of Buddhahood is, first of all, there is the Lama who is the spiritual friend, and then there is the student who has accumulated the wisdom and the faith and so on, and then there wisdom and compassion, love and compassion, and then there's the pith instructions, that then the student meditates upon those pith instructions. Obviously, there are many interdependent factors. If there is no student, there's no one to attain Buddhahood, right? And if there's no one to teach, there is no path that is being revealed, right? And if there was no path, then there is no teacher of the path, and there is no one to traverse the path, right? And if the means for practicing the path of wisdom and compassion are not there, it's impossible to practice the path. So see how these are interdependent factors.
So, Rinpoche, to what extent does our effort or diligence play in this?
This diligence is the friend to the practice of the path. It's like an ally on the path. There are the 6 paramitas, yes? That is the path.
I guess maybe I'm trying to ask the question. You mentioned that in meditation we shouldn't be too tight and we shouldn't be too loose. And in terms of our practice, and I've heard that people in the West sometimes work too hard. And would you comment on that aspect in terms of the overall interdependence of the conditions? Do you feel that one should take the attitude of not be too tight or too loose on a path and practice too?
Rangi lamla dam trapa dam lu trapa di khola son sens tene di nang la tsundruti chichena tsundrut shuk chena yang yapyo jimare samni tinde rebes
tsundru ju mo toa tsundru sing di mo toa
toa
nam jung ge lu chok be le ga le dang na yang lu chan xie lo xie
mare nupchok ki mi chogi lam la drona
chok lam to na
chogi lam to la re
le hu no ma
le khong ma re
tsundru sing jin toa
la se
tsundru mo tsund gang ge la toa
la se draw re taste re ba
toa
the gava
toa
asa joy trouble re la se. But the essential point of diligence is the joyful feeling, just the flavor of the practice, that is the joyful feeling of wanting to practice. This is the essence of diligence. That's it. And where does this come from? It comes from understanding the meaning.
근데 이제 다 가르쳐 그래. 너처럼 가시는 년년 제발이나 담라고 그러다가 자기 있지.
맞아. 담 잡아 담.
그러다가 자기 샤줘봐야 자기 놓줘봐야 자기.
맞아. And as far as this goes, Westerners or Easterners both can get too uptight and too loose in their practice.
담 잡아도 흘려 잡아도 소지 가능한 용어래. 근데 담 잡아도 흘려 잡고 뭐 마시는 용어래.
맞아. And so regarding the interdependence of what conditions cause an individual to become too tight or too loose, it is from not knowing the meaning. And what is it not knowing? What the meaning of what does one not know? It's not knowing the meaning of being too tight and too loose. But if you recognize what is too tight, what is too loose, then it doesn't come anymore. Once you recognize it, it doesn't come so much. That's it. It comes a little bit. It comes to all of us. That's it. Because we have habits, yeah. That's it. That's it. And because we have a habitual tendency from having wandering in samsara, so this is the habit of becoming tight or loose.
Yes,
I'm wondering if one's teacher either passes away or is unable to leave their country, but one continues in one's devotion, is it possible to avoid all the kind of more and more subtle errors on the path?
Kyun. Could you say that again, please? If the Lama passes away?
Yes, or is unable
So
to...
you think it's better if the Lama has passed away than you don't have so many thoughts? No? I'm sorry.
In other words, if you don't have face-to-face contact with your teacher so that he can correct your mistakes,
Yeah.
even if you have a lot of devotion, is it possible that you won't be able to realize the path?
람 차선 좋고 그래. 람 차선 좋던데. 인지 몰라면 고 말해.
That's it.
람 공부서 람 파는 그냥 문득 람 누구지 대바지는 냠내 제가는 산이 고도.
That's it. First you must receive the explanation of the whole path from the Lama. But once you have that, you don't have to stay with the Lama. That the Lama maybe dies or the Lama goes somewhere else, but you continue with your practice with great devotion, you will surely attain Buddhahood. There are 4 aspects of the Lama. The first is the Lama that is the individual Lama of the Jubilama, right? Yeah, it's the individual of the Lama. And the second is the Lama that is the book, actually the instructions that are in the books. That's it. Nawatai Lama. And then the third is the Lama which is the Lama of the limitless appearance. Oh, Nawatai Lama. That's I'm sorry. So it's the Lama of the symbol, the Lama that is the symbol of appearance. And the fourth is the absolute Lama that is the Dharmata. So to begin with, one must rely upon the outer Lama that is the individual of the transmission.
니바데 대세까지 남았으나 까추 대지고 쓰기 말해.
맞아.
슈. 라면 슈.
같이. 그래서
딜레 니바 슈를 삼삼 라면 되는 랍송 냠님 테레.
맞아.
이 양자 잡아지데 니바데 대세까지
That's it. And then the second one of the Lama of the teaching or of the instructions. It's not only what is in books, but it is like the actual teachings, and then the Lama of thinking to yourself, this is what the Lama said, or like contemplating the teachings, hearing them in your own mind over and over, like contemplating that. That is the second level or second aspect of the Lama.
다들라 냠네 야부치나 아니 나라는 나라요 똑바 냠도 똑바요 네 나와 이제 나랑 cross 나와 가이네 나와 다이람
And so then, based upon that, then one meditates, and then comes experiences and realizations. And once one has experience and realizations, then the whole of appearance becomes like a great friend. And so the all appearance, whatever appearance, becomes like a great aid to one's meditation. And that's why it's called the symbol Lama of appearance. And this absolute the absolute Lama of Dharmata, this is the essence of one's own mind.
You spoke earlier today.
This morning you spoke about Shine Lakto, and I wondered if you might, if it's appropriate, revisit speaking about Shine Lakto in the context of what you told us about Guru Yoga.
네, 다시 쇼게 신이 당 활동 콜라 테스 송송스. 네, 라미날저나와 신이 당 활동 맹아 트라버시 여베스. There are instructions regarding the calm abiding and deep insight, Shini Laktong, in the Guru Yoga, but I'm not going to tell you.
I will say.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So let's put aside questions for now.
라는 상황 다는 아니 강연 다니 야부차게 근데 이번에도 라는 올라가면이야 산지기 누구 중앙이나 산지기 지나면 나라는 죽어요 라만 생이 돼가지고 그래 라만 생이 되면 유가 되면잖아 라만 또 통비는다 또 먹는다 또 드리는다 저거 말해 말하면 대박 산지 있으면 아 산지 있으면 죽어요
Dan nama tamsi rangi sim. Rangi samres. So as the Buddha spoke, all phenomena, all dharmas, the root of all dharmas is in one's own mind. Therefore, the dharmas or phenomena itself are not produced, are not existent other than one's own mind. And so if one has the Lama, and one must have a Lama that is of the correct qualities, but it doesn't have to be such a high lama, or it can be a high lama or a middle lama or a lesser lama. But the point is, if one believes and has faith and devotion that that lama is the Buddha, and then with that faith and devotion, one can attain Buddhahood. In the beginning, it is not advisable to just completely take on whatever lama one encounters and so on. That actually, to begin with, you must be suspicious and examine the lama and see, does this lama have the lineage, the translation lineage, and what is the source of the teachings of that lama, and does that lama have the correct qualities and so on. And once one has made this examination and decided in that lama, then one must have faith and practice. And so without the faith, then actually you cannot progress in any way. So for instance, there was the individual known as Lekbikarma, who stayed with the Buddha for 25 years as his attendant and so on, but he had no faith. He didn't think... 25 years. Yeah. So he stayed for... 25, right? Yeah. So he stayed for 25 years with the Buddha Shakyamuni as his attendant, but never thought that Buddha Shakyamuni was anything special. And after 25 years of working for the Buddha, nothing occurred to him, like he didn't progress in any way. I'm going to tell you a story. In Tibet, there was an old woman with a son, who had a son. Amagemo. No. No. Sorry. Budi. Oh yeah, that's it. And so the child of the old Tibetan woman was going to India to trade and like as a, what do you call that, a trader anyway. Business, yeah. And so the mother, knowing that her son was going to the land of India on his trading, then said to him, "You're going to India. This is the place where the Buddha appeared. Please bring back for me from India some relic that I can venerate as a relic of the Buddha." And the son said, "Yes, of course, I will do that for you." No problem. And when he went to India, then his merchandising, his business went very well. And so he forgot completely about his promise to his mother. And so as the son returned to Tibet, then the mother could see him approaching, because in Tibet there was not so much density of buildings and so on, so there was just a few houses clustered in the middle of a vast open area, so she could see him coming from afar. And so she stood there so happy to see her son, thinking, oh, he's bringing me a relic of the Buddha, how wonderful. And of course the son arrives and has nothing, and she's very unhappy. And so the second time that the son had to return on his journey for business to India, then the mother pestered him many times, saying, this time please be for sure that you bring me back some kind of relic of the Buddha and some kind of blessing relic of the Buddha. And the son replied, saying, of course I will do this for you, I promise. No problem. And again, in India, his business went very well, and he forgot all about his promise to his mother and returned to Tibet empty-handed for her gift. And the mother was so unhappy. Oh, Rauchi. That's it. And so then on the third time that he returned on his business trip to India, she said, now this time, without fail, you must bring me some blessing relic of the Buddha. And if you fail me this time, if you forget again, I will kill myself right in front of you as you approach the door, in front of the doorway. And the son again said, oh, mother, I'm so sorry that I forgot before. This time I will not forget, I promise you. And please forgive me, but I will bring it this coming time. And on the third trip to India, his business affairs went so well, better than any other time before, and he completely, once again, forgot the promise to his mother. And as he approached his home, he suddenly realized, as soon as his house came in sight, ahead on the midst of the plain, he thought, oh my God, I forgot again to bring some blessing relic of the Buddha. And so he thought, oh no, what am I going to do? I've forgotten again. And he looked around from left to right, desperate to come up with some idea. And there he saw the skeleton bones of the jawbones of the dog. No flesh, no meat on the bones at all. And just the jawbone with jawbone of the dog. And so he pulled out one tooth from the dog's jawbone, and cleaned it, and then he put it in. He wrapped it up and tied it up in beautiful brocade, and he put it into a very nice box that he had, little container, and he put this container on the back of a horse, a very special horse, and led the horse with great veneration for this object on the horse. That's it. And the mother, seeing her approaching son, then was all excited, thinking, oh, my wonderful son, now he's brought me something fantastic, some great blessing. And she stood outside with a kata and incense waiting for her son. And that's it. Suasinti. That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh, yeah. That's it. And so the son sent one of his servants down to the mother to exclaim to the mother that they had a fantastic relic. It was the actual molar tooth of the Buddha, and that in Suchewati was a molar, the biggest tooth of the Buddha, and so you must set up a great reception for this arrival. That's it. And so the mother got all excited and put on her greatest show reception for this. And so the mother took this dog tooth and put it in the very highest point, the main central high point of her shrine, and she made offerings to it and bowed down to it, prostrated and so on, and meditated in front of it. And after a few months, from this dog's tooth, there came all kinds of little, many crystals that began to issue out of the dog tooth. And these relics, very pure white, round, like these called ring cells, evolved crystals, I think we call them. And then from outside there was rainbows that came streaming down onto the roof of the house. And inside there was the most amazing, pleasant smell. Yeah. Jalu. Tarpato. Jalu marwa. Tarpato. Then you wrote the oh. Jasu. Yeah. And then later, when the mother died, then a rainbow struck the body of the mother, and from her own body came many of these special rinsel. They're called these little round pills. Well, they're not really pills, but they're called rinsel. And the mother attained complete liberation. And this is what occurred from her having faith in the tooth of a dog. That's it. This didn't come because the tooth developed some greater and greater quality. This came because of her faith and devotion and the blessing of the Buddhas into this support for her devotion. So thus I have completed this story. Right. 4:30 pound. And so now I'm going to explain how it is one must practice Laminal Jor.
나 라마를 대부분 그게 조지 나랑 줄이야 또게 나랑 줄이야 내로 또해서 대부분 그게
So one cultivates faith and devotion in order to recognize within one's own mind the nature of one's own mind.
이제 대바스인데 세와 지다
Love.
되게 지나치죠.
That's a deba.
대바스죠.
Love.
맨나 라브스인데라 인제지요래 야를 꼰조리야 대바지는 대바스인데 라브
Correct.
세와래
Right.
만선전은 니지죠.
That's it. And so this faith is basically it's like love, and just in the same way as one has this feeling of love when directed at the three jewels, it is the love that is faith, and then when it's directed at sentient beings, it is compassion. So it's basically faith is love.
이제 다 되게 나랑 소리야. 저 생지요 봐이나? 근데 나랑 소리 니모 다 봐. 나랑 줄이야. 가와다 좋아야 팩토리야.
As and from this, then one's
나랑 저 생지요 봐이나?
네.
나랑 줄이 니모 다 봐. 나랑 줄이야. 가와다 좋아야 나와도 주로.
And so with this love, then the conflicting emotions are suppressed, and one's joy and experience is increased.
맨날 똥만 이거 따와대 신가라고 저래. 아니 저와대 신가는 이거 추려. 신가는 추님선은 또 찍어.
And so this view of the nature of emptiness is like the field, and this love is like the moisture or the irrigation of that field, and so from that whatever can grow.
아니면 이제 다 되게 거기야 라면을 줄 거발라. 아니 너무 숨이야.
So there are three parts to the Laminalgur meditation practice.
당보대라 기란 가서 그래. 꿀농이 보세요.
The first is to establish the very good motivation.
당한 라면을 냠내지요. 라면을 냠내지야 돼. 나라 찍고라. 냠나 또 봐. 나라 찍고라 연된 중에서도 말해.
So one must have the motivation of, one must not have the motivation of thinking that one meditates upon Laminaljo in order to realize experiences and realizations for one's own self. One must have the motivation of thinking one does it for the benefit of all sentient beings. Oneself and all others. Not just for one's own self. And so the all mother-like sentient beings, as vast as space, without exception, all have this seed of Buddhahood. Moshe And so all beings are in the condition of, in the beginning of not recognizing this Buddha nature, and in the middle of not going to the end of the path of this recognition of Buddha nature. This is the condition of all sentient beings. And so sentient beings in this condition of not recognizing then wander endlessly in samsara, experiencing birth, old age, sickness and death, bewildered by their own illusions. What a pity, how pitiful. So thinking that in order for all sentient beings to, one may say to it, going to the end of the path of the recognition of the Buddha nature, or one may simply say to achieve Buddhahood, this is the same, then in order that that should occur for all sentient beings, therefore I will practice Guru Yoga. So this is the first part of Guru Yoga, of the Laminajo, of the motivation. This is very important. However, for the beginner, it doesn't come as vast as it can be. It's not absolutely vast.
Oh, 100%.
Not 100%, yeah. And so you may not have this motivation 100%, but that's okay, because maybe, of course, there will be some degree of hesitation, doubt, confusion, or whatever. And so this is the way things are. So it's okay that it doesn't come 100% to begin with. And so if from the get-go you were freed from all of those things like doubts and confusion, and you had 100% of the motivation, then you'd already be enlightened. In 1 week. That's it. But we are not like that. We have this great habit of wandering around in samsara. So if, as you approach this practice, in the back of your mind, you have this idea that, to have this bodhicitta attitude is very good if I can cultivate it, and you strive a little bit for it, then gradually it'll actually come on. So anything is possible with practice, something like that? With habit, yeah. Everything eventually becomes easy with a habit. Saying of Shantideva that with habit everything becomes can be transformed with ease. And so with you, if you cultivate this habit, it will come. So the second is how one practices Laminaljor. Mikpa Jatama. Mikpa. So within this, there's many, like 100 different concepts. visualizations, like at least 100 different visualizations within this context of how to practice the Laminaljo. And you have to finish all of these 100 visualizations in 1 minute. Just kidding. There are not 100. So first, based upon the relative, there is the practice based upon the relative, and then there is the practice based upon the absolute. There are two. So in the relative practice of the Guru Yoga, first of all, you think of, in the sky in front of you, there appears the form of, could be of Guru Rinpoche, or of Dorji, or Vajradhara, or of the Buddha Shakyamuni, that in essence is the essence of all the lamas and of your root lama in the form of the deity. That's all. Cherangdang. That's all. Thinking. That's all. Thinking that is of the single essence of all of your lamas, all of your teachers. That's it. So if you have 100% total faith and devotion in your Lama the way he is, then actually you can visualize the Lama just the way he is. But if you still do not have that 100% devotion and you're still thinking of faults and qualities, then it's better that you meditate. In essence, it's the Lama, but in appearance, it is of the yidam or of the deity of the Buddha Shakyamuni. Now your practice. That's it. The relative Laminaljur is the calm abiding. The absolute Laminaljur is the profound insight. That's it. That's it. That's it. So the main point of this shine we call shama. And so in this meditating the essence of all the lamas in one, then if you think that, if you're thinking of the lamas and then you think, oh well, this one maybe has bigger blessing than that other one, so you focus on that one, and a little bit later you think, oh maybe this one over here has bigger blessing. Actually, this is counterproductive. So you must think the essence of all the lamas in one. That's it. Same with the yidam. For instance, same with the yidam. So you suppose you meditate on Manjushri, and then you suddenly start thinking, well, I want to cultivate compassion. So I should meditate on Chenrezig because this is better, more compassion of Chenrezig. So then you put aside your Manjushri practice and you meditate on Chenrezig, and then you think, oh, what I really need is like big power. I need to be powerful. So you lay aside your Chenrezig practice and then you adopt the practice of Vajrapani. So this is not the right approach.
Yeah? 재미한 거 듣고 나 체력을 주고 체감이 좀 가리고 체감이 좀 체력이 가려 빼자 돼서 그래 잠발아 주는 거 가리고 그냥 체감이 파이
And
체감이
you
연예기고 말이야 체감 거라면
and so, or you may think, I want to meditate to develop longevity, vitality. So therefore, you meditate upon Sepame, Amitayus. And then you start thinking, what I really would like would be like wealth and prosperity. So you don't give up practicing, but you give up Amitayus, and then you take up the practice of Zambala. And so you must know that all the yidams are of the one essence, all the Buddhas of this one essence. The Buddha nature, the Tathagata Garbha, is the same essence for all. And so recognizing that through the one practice, all blessings arise in one. And so when you meditate upon the Lama, thinking that this is the essence of all the Lamas, one essence, the essence of all the yidams, just one essence, the essence of all, one essence of all of the Dharmapalas, protectors and so on, then you meditate like that, then all the blessings will come at once. And if you are unable to meditate clearly on the body, color, the appearance, and the implements, and so on, all of that in very great detail, that's okay. Just thinking that the Lama, essence of all, appears before me in the sky. And then you pray to the Lama with the prayer Lama Cheno. And so, in terms of the prayer to the Lama, then it can be, there's the lengthier versions, abridged versions, or it can just be in that what we recite of this Lama Cheno, just like that. That is enough. There is no difference between how many words, extra words, or not enough words. If there's no words, it's okay. And simply the thinking of bless me so that all being myself and all beings will be free from all obstacles in a temporal sense, all obstacles, all disease and all problems, may all of that be assuaged, and bless me that myself and all beings will quickly realize the essence of the Buddha nature and thus be quickly, completely liberated. And then you imagine that as you pray in that way with this fervent, devoted prayer, then from the Lama emanates great deal of light. and from his forehead comes the white light, or from his throat, red, and from his throat comes the red light, from his heart comes the blue light, and this great deal of light then blazes and is absorbed into your forehead, throat and heart, and then you must think that all defilements of body, speech and mind have been completely purified, and that you've received all of the empowerments of the body, speech and mind of the Lama. So thus this is the relative Laminal Jor. And at the end, then the Lama in the sky in front dissolves into light, and that light is dissolved into oneself. And some. And then you must simply think that that one's own mind and the mind of the Lama is the same. My mind has this Tathagata Garbha, the Lama's mind has Tathagata Garbha. In my mind there is the primordial wisdom. In the Lama's mind there is primordial wisdom. My mind is emptiness, my Lama's mind is emptiness. It's the same. In true sense there is no difference. Thinking like that, and in that just simply rest, relaxed. This is the absolute Laminal Jor. And in the true meaning then, the Dunditi, Yuldik, Tomaniris, that's it. That's it. And so the Lama is emptiness. Oneself is emptiness. The blessing is emptiness. The defilements are emptiness. There is no in reality there is no blessing that is being received. There is nothing to be purified. There is no action of purifying. Just in that state, rest at ease. This is what is called the absolute Laminal Jor. So now I have finished explaining the relative and the absolute Laminal Jor. So one has accomplished those 100 visualizations. So now we take a 10-minute break, and after that I will explain the third aspect of the Laminal Jor. So now the third part of the Laminal Jor. And this has two aspects to the third part, which is to avoid cultivating a great deal of hope and fear, and dedicating the merit. And so this hope and fear, hope is referring to, you may have the thought of how well did I do in making this supplication, and how much blessing do you think, I wonder how much blessing is coming to me, like that. So thinking in this way of how much blessing, how much power, how much benefit is taking place.
사실 Tibetan Buddhism story.
I wonder how much obscurations can be purified. I wonder how many obstacles have been defeated.
더 봤을 때 하나를 남는 주문이 yapayım.
And then fear would be like thinking, God, I wonder if that was any good with that Lama Nalju practice that I did, like just worrying that it's not effective. If I did it correctly or not correctly. Or like looking and seeing that, thinking, oh, I've got doubts and hesitations and I'm developing wrong views, I must be an evil person. Oh, I'm a very bad person, thinking like that. Yeah. Yeah. This is like the being too tight again. And you must have the attitude, whatever happens, let it happen. If it's great blessing, let it be great. If it's small blessing, let it be small. Whatever happens is fine. I'm just happy to be meditating on Lama Nalju. And then the second aspect of this conclusion part is the dedication. This dedication is very important. There are three aspects to dedication. And in the first part of the dedication, there are 21 aspects to that. And in the second, there are 13. And in the third part, there are 800. First of all, in the first part, there is 1 point. In the second, there is 1 point. And in the third, there is 1 point. And so the first is called the dedication without conceptualizing the three components or the three spheres. It's called the three spheres. So with no concept of the three spheres, dedication. So this is referring to where we have the one that is dedicating, the object to where the dedication, the recipient of the dedication, and the act of dedicating. So with the mind that is free from any clinging or fixation to these three, and able to dedicate without fixation to these three, this is called the dedication that is non-conceptual. How to put it? Yeah, so without concept of the three spheres dedication.
코스무스나 빼샤바이나 뭐가 진행하나 추수의 미래 때바이나 네 추수의 계절처럼 때바이나 땡행나 대사를 계절나 대수수여로 와
That's it.
되는
That's it. Nangimela.
아무것도 라면
That's it. And so, to give an example of what are these three spheres, just suppose I gave a watch to the translator. So, first of all, there is the giver, there is the gift, and there is the receiver of the gift.
It's very good work.
I'm not giving this one. It's too expensive. It's got diamonds and gold. Do you want me to tell you how much it cost? It cost 900 rupees. And I've had it for 2 years. It works very well. So divide by 20 to get the dollar amount. Is that right? Yeah.
48.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a $50 watch. Jesu Labe. Oh, Jesu Labe. And so, thus the first is this non-conceptual dedication without fixation on the three spheres. And the second is the dedication following the example of the others. That's number two. That's it. Oh yeah. That's it. And the third is the dedication that is sullied or poisoned. That's it. These are the three. Now I'm going to explain these step by step. And so, in this first dedication, the dedication free from the concept of the three spheres, then it's according to the Mahayana, then resting in the state of the recognition of emptiness, within that recognition, making the offering prayer, this is like with that recognition, one has gone to the end of the path of the recognition of emptiness, and able to make the prayer within that state. Then this is the non-conceptual dedication from the state of emptiness. That's it. And then in the according to the secret mantrayana of recognizing realizing the essence nature of one's own mind, and within that recognition of one's own nature to make the dedication, then this is of the same meaning, which is without the concept of the three spheres. And if you can cultivate this and able to give rise to that kind of dedication, it's very good. If not, then you must have the second dedication. And so the second kind of dedication is the dedication that is following the example. So whose example are we following in the way that we do this dedication? We are dedicating in the way that it is shown by the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas. And so this second kind of dedication is thinking that all of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are present as your witness, and you say that with you as my witness, all of the enlightened ones, I dedicate this merit of the practice of the Laminaljo, may it be dedicated for the benefit of sentient beings in the same way that you dedicate merit to sentient beings, and then you ask them to be your witness. And or you may consider all of your merit of this practice, and then consider all of the merit of all of the Buddhas and all of the Bodhisattvas and lump that together, and then the merit of all sentient beings and lump that together and make all of that merit into one lump, and then think to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I dedicate this merit in the same way as you dedicate the merit to sentient beings. May it be so. May it be dedicated to sentient beings in the same way that you dedicate to sentient beings. And then you must think that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas then exclaim and say, it is so, it is dedicated just so. So this is the second kind of dedication according to the example, following the example. And then after that, one must think that one's own self is emptiness. All sentient beings is not other than emptiness, and the virtue itself that is dedicated is emptiness. And the dedicator, the action of dedicating, and the recipient of the dedicated merit, all three are emptiness. And thinking that it is emptiness, and just resting the mind in that. This is the absolute dedication.
다 수바데 뭐 도진
That's it. And then the third is the poisoned dedication.
다뭐 도진데 가르데 라바이나
If you should say, well, what means this poisoned dedication?
셈요 모왕 다 또이기 그냥 탑치마 영마도
So, not recognizing, not having fully recognized the emptiness or the nature of one's own mind,
뭐요 빵보 뭐 맛이
and the not being able to meditate or cultivate the witness to the dedication itself.
근데 이 내가게 내 교와도 생각한 거 그냥 한 여러 또 라바 폐매만 말해 폐요 폐세매만 타베도 용도 말해
And so, without those two, simply going, may this be dedicated to all sentient beings, this is this third kind of dedication. So, it would be incorrect to say that this is non-beneficial. It isn't completely non-beneficial, but it's not limitless benefit. So, it's mixed with poison. What is this poison that it's mixed with? Should you ask that? So it's mixed with the poison of fixation upon reality. And so clinging to the existence of the individual dedicating, the act of dedication, and the recipient of the dedication, if clinging to that is what means by mixed with the poison. And so in this second type of dedication, according to the example of the enlightened ones, then thinking that may this merit be dedicated in the same way as you, my witness, dedicate your merit, then actually within that, the meaning of the the dedication that is not conceiving of the three spheres, that meaning is complete within the dedication following the example of the enlightened ones. And then in that, like at the end of that, simply resting in that state of thinking that the dedicator, the merit itself, the action of dedicating the merit, and the receiver of the merit that it's dedicated to, just thinking that that is just emptiness, and resting in that, this is very beneficial. And that's it. And so this concludes the discussion on Laminal Jor.
뭐 맞지 나이나 가르치기 위해서는 시간만은 배워야 졸라치기 나결지 몸 시나 몸 바꾸고 아니 전에 교화 졸라치기 조바게
조바
그래 이제 리스트를 교화 졸라치기
시당당 몸
나결지고 뭐 생각 알았어 그래 교화
조바
양쪽이요 제부 민배 제부 시바
제부 민배 That's it. And so if you do not dedicate the merit, then the merit is destroyed by one or all of four conditions. And so the first one, the merit of your practice, is completely destroyed by the first moment of anger, or it is destroyed by pride and haughtiness, or it is destroyed by regret that you have done the practice, whatever, like regretting, or debu mimbezewa,
빼셔 있나? 그냥 뭐 내비 사제 개와지나? 되게 저거 살았지? 살았지? 살았로 가지. 그냥 데이트 비기 개와. 이제 저서 그냥 야 맞는 거. 세바 내봐.
맞아.
뭐 왔지나? 원래 자주선 탈 뭐이나? 세바 내비. 사제 거만 두비는 저거 저에.
Or it is the merit, or the fourth kind way, that the merit is destroyed by it ripening. So the result of that merit ripening, and therefore no longer there is any merit. So for instance, you would create that merit, and therefore you would experience the result, such as rebirth in the God's realm. That's the fruition of that merit, is the ripening of it. Once it's ripened, then that merit is exhausted, and then there you are back again in the human realm or lower realm or whatever. You have exhausted the merit by it ripening into a result. And if you have performed the dedication, then these four cannot interfere, cannot destroy or decrease, affect the merit. To make an example, suppose on the road there was a beggar. So one would think, oh, there's a beggar man on the street. So then in generosity you give $100 to that person. Right. So then after giving that, on the way home you think, I gave him too much, I should have only given him 5. Then this destroys the merit by means of that regret. But if giving that $100 to the beggar on the roadside, then you dedicate that merit of that gift to all beings in this way. You did the dedication. Even if later you get home and you regret what you've done and thought you wished you'd only given him 5, then you still cannot decrease the merit because you've dedicated it. It's good, yes? Any questions? Any questions? I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
Madhuratiyo. Madhuratiyo.
Oh, he has one question.
Then
No, you can get
but not. Nung budela dola jatre. Then more yapo more. Mache. Then jula japacherwa. Digi jula yang ta yang chata yapu chung so. Then dedu yang more. Chena. Some chena. Shabache. Ale. That's it. So my question was, if you gave the $100 to the beggar and without dedicating it, you later regretted it, could you then after that rededicate it again and change your mind and feel good about it again and somehow get the merit back? And, so the answer is, if you confess that you've had that regret and then dedicate it, then you retrieve the merit.
Wow. Yeah?
No, I asked if you had to give him another $100.
Yeah, very good if you do that.
Well, your question was actually my exact question.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry.
Not magician.
That's it.
Not a magician.
That's it. That's it. I have one story to tell. Oh, just like your question. Wrong.
Like you say.
Yeah, same.
Same like yours.
Yeah. This. Oh. Oh, that's it. That's it. Oh, right. That's it. That's it. That's it. Hakuson. Purchison. Umzichi. Mirror. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. So I have a story that's similar to your story. In the monastery, then I had the idea to make these like prayers for auspiciousness, and so each one in great long line has to make these prayers make the prayers, and so I, as the umze, like the chant master, holding in my hands the incense, would do the recite the dashi, the auspicious prayers, and then the next one, and then the next one, and so on. So this is how it was planned to be. Each one has to recite a different type of this auspicious prayer. That's it. And so there was one who was. So each one has this certain prayer, like a different prayer. Each one has to say something different. So there's one, obviously waiting for his turn, thinking, well, if nobody else says this prayer, then I've got this one. When it's my turn, I will say this prayer for auspiciousness. That's it. And so each one was saying the prayer, but that particular prayer that the one was waiting to say, nobody had prayed it yet. And just in front of him, there was one man. And so this one had one more turn to wait to say his prayer, and the one next to him, we handed him the incense, and then he started singing, waving the incense, and he sang exactly the prayer that one had waited this whole time to chant. And so he just sat there with his eyes shut tight.
This is my one.
And then he came out. Yeah. So sorry that I did that. That's it. I just said this on the side. There's a sidebar.
Rinpoche, can you talk about how the concept of the three roots fits into this practice? You talk about Guru and Deva, but not Dakini.
Tinawa, Yongey Rinpoche, Perna, Laminaljan Nawa, Tawasum says Yureves, Perna, Lamatang yidam Korla Tesumres, Kandru Korla Sumyomares.
Yidam, power in Yidam Poina, power, Yidam Moina, Kandru.
That's it. So the yidam, if the yidam is the male yidam, it's the pao, and which is the daka. If it's a female, the yidam is the dakini.
Lama yidam chujong sina taosum dilejin labde.
That's it.
Luzujila lama yidam kandru sina labde. And that's what
That's it. So sometimes then the three roots are described as the lama, the yidam, and the protector. One way of describing it is like that. Other way is the lama, the yidam, and the kandro, or the dakini.
So in this practice, how do we bring the three roots into this?
잠깐 뭐 집어 보내요.
It's all contained within this aspect of meditating on all as of one essence.
지난 라마지 보마요. 지난 라마 던지도 뭐 집어, 예단 던지도 뭐 집어. 예식 주전에 기대 주전 뭐 말이야. 예식 주전 던지도 뭐 집어 그 말이야.
And so this that you meditate is the same essence of all the lamas, same essence, or one essence of all the yidams, one essence of all of the wisdom protectors, not the worldly protectors, but essence of all the wisdom protectors. It is all one. This is the lama.
지난 이담 거로 선임하고.
And anyway, I will be talking about the yidam tomorrow.
Can we just visualize Guru Rinpoche?
Yes, that's very good.
Not all the...
The question was, can we just visualize Guru Rinpoche? And the reply is, that works, that's okay. Thinking that Guru Rinpoche and all the lamas, all the yidams, is all of one essence. If you think like that, it's good, it's okay.
Rinpoche, is our ability to effectively dedicate merit based on the amount of bodhicitta we have, our devotion and familiarity with Rigpa? Or do we have limitations in our ability to dedicate merit, and does that progress? How do we know if we've really done it right?
Yungwa rangi jangchup sem dilara leg rebes tene rangi jangchup ki sem dilara leg rebeyam rangi rikpala ngwa shepa dilara leg rebes ngwa yapu droaki karelara leg res
ngwa yapu
So if one has the skillful means and wisdom, then the dedication is effective very, very well. It's properly effective. So it depends upon skillful means and wisdom. And there are the two, right, of the relative dedication and the absolute dedication. The relative dedication depends upon bodhicitta. And the absolute dedication depends upon your recognition of emptiness, or one may say the recognition of one's own mind's nature. And at all times, each benefits the other, like the relative helps the absolute, and the absolute helps the relative. And for this reason, to begin with, the relative dedication is very important. And based upon this, gradually the absolute dedication will arise of itself. But there is one very good sign as to whether the dedication happens properly.
근데 뭐야 오입니다.
That's it. So if the dedication has been very successful, you'll hear a great loud noise. Some very good dedication must have just occurred.
As we relax and we
turn it on, play ball.
quiet, the lights on.
Once we put it up to his mouth, that'll help.
As we begin to relax into the practice and our fixation of the real world becomes more relaxed and takes on a more illusory quality, and if we're doing yidam practice, visualization practice, I'm wondering if we want to wake up, where is it that we wake up into?
Na Nyamlin Komsha Yapshung Na Dene Rangi Nyamle Desi Sulu Draguchi Yung Tubna Dene Chi Nawa Zimba Desi Ma Chawa Draguchi Drogayori Dene Lansang Ranshin Di Chi Nawa Tulnang Yimba Draguchi Lansang Des To Yongeyores Dene Yidam Gi Nyamba Sa Dene Digi Zimba Des Chung Sudogres Dene Dedi Kapla Mo Trupati Lamsang Trulpa Le Sewa Rabachi Kane Yungres Dene Trulpa Dile Se Sona Gabala Sevares
차상 영어차게.
That's it. Chasang Yomachagres. That's it.
이제 초발했어요.
That's it. Trouble is said, yes, Yomachagres. So, this awakening from all delusion is you actually go completely insane.
crazy.
Completely crazy, yeah. Is that not so good?
미카시게 출발했어. 출발을 다 해서 가는 차이 이게. 년바라고 차. 괜찮지 차를 되면.
That's it.
차이가 많이.
That's it. Some people think that awakening from illusion think of it as something like it must be very odd, like what a strange experience that must be to wake up from illusion. And some people might think of it as being like going crazy, but it's not like that. So if you should ask, well, so where is it that one wakes up from illusion? Where does one wake up to? One wakes up at the heart of the Tathagata Garbha, the Buddha nature. The foundation for awakening from illusion is the Buddha nature. This foundation, which is the Buddha nature, is our essence. It's our nature. That's it. And so, from newly recognizing that is one's own nature, and simply recognize it, then the qualities of that Buddha nature become actualized and manifest. And so these qualities such as omniscience and loving compassion and ability and the powers of the enlightened ones, all of this spontaneously it becomes actualized. That's it. And so this clinging to existence, clinging to reality as if it's really existing, that fixation that is the illusion, when that is released and you wake up from that, it's not like you fall into some kind of odd, deranged state. It's just you let go of that and wake up in your own nature. Shut up. And so wisdom gets bigger, increases. Wisdom increases. And the knowledge and omniscience, love, and the powers just of themselves just increase. Oh, top na? That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Sanji yena. That's it. 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 And so, if, for instance, I reach the ultimate and reached Buddhahood, then there is no illusion. I'm beyond all illusion. There is no further delusion, no further illusion. And yet, the Buddha, this is the state of the Buddha, is able to manifest, is able to emanate and manifest, and can understand the nature of illusion, but is not deluded himself. To make an example, you look at, you're watching a movie. Suppose you watch a movie. You can see everything that happens in the movie, right? Suppose you were looking at the news. Typhoon. Tornado, yeah. So you see on the news, you see an approaching tornado that comes and destroys a house and kills people and so on. You see that, yes? But you do not have to go inside that tornado. You see that. Let's make another example. Suppose a person was sleeping down here, and to him he's dreaming, and he's dreaming that this is that he's dreaming of a house of gold. So in his dream, he may think of this, that he's in a house of gold, very precious house. Or he may think he's in a very ugly, rotten house. Either way, he can dream of that. And so if I had omniscience, I can look into his dream. Clairvoyance. If I had clairvoyance, I can look into his dream. So I can see whether he's dreaming of this gold house or of a bad, dirty house. But I don't have to fall asleep for that. But without myself falling asleep, I would be able to see his dream. That's it. So, this purified of all illusion, I, as the Buddha, have awakened, completely purified from all illusion. But this does not mean that there is no more appearance, that nothing else appears. So, still, whatever can appear.
But what appears as a dreamlike quality to it is an illusion, and the vision of the practice of the yidam deity is something that I created because I can only partially realize myself actually as that deity. Then what else is there?
Tene pernah murang yidam kumni. Tene yidam gomba lateni zimpates ma chungro ki yojires. Tene chasang yidam yin si tokyo mare te ina zimpates chung si drogiyores. Tene dile kase dile yagariores.
yidam sisi sösa barwa. Kunda. Yidam sisi kunda bare. Ti yidam nyamende nyamende tartu ko mare. Yidam nyamende le ten nenu toyeta.
So this is not the ultimate practice of the yidam. It's not the absolute practice of the yidam, I should say. This is the yidam that one has made. It's like a mind-made yidam. It's called the yidam of that which is all labeling. So it's labeled as the yidam. So this is not the ultimate. But by means of this, one is able to recognize one's own nature. That's it. So one performs this yidam practice. It's like an exercise, a mind exercise, in order to reduce the clinging and fixation on appearance as being real and existing, and to gain mastery and control over the mind, and to increase one's ability to recognize. And so this yidam, by means of this, then one is approaching the actual recognition of one's own nature. So by means of this, then one's clinging and fixation decrease, and one's compassion and devotion spontaneously increase. And by means of this yidam practice, then one's ordinary associations of the flesh and blood body and the external world as this impure appearance, the way that we accustomed to viewing it, all of this is decreased, and at a certain point, one cannot conceive of the body as flesh and blood, and one cannot conceive of the world as being this real, existing, impure world. And so, within that, one gains mastery over birth and death, and upon that. On top of that, more and more realizations lead to the complete realization of Buddhahood. That's it. So this purifying of all impure appearance doesn't mean that suddenly the whole Buddha realms open up and there's all kinds of lights and rainbows shining out of the person who has purified impure appearance. It is referring to the one that recognizes the emptiness nature of all phenomena. This is the purifying of impure appearance. Knowledge of practice. That's it. The relative Lam-minal-jur is the calm abiding. The absolute Lam-minal-jur is the profound insight. That's it. That's it. That's it. So the main point of this shine we call shamatha, calm abiding, is mindfulness. And so the mindfulness of the devotion and the mindfulness of the Lama, this covers the aspect of the meditation that is calm abiding. That's it. And so from this mindfulness, then great power comes to, the mind becomes powerful. From that comes great stillness. And so regarding this lakton, vipassana, or profound insight, this is the recognition of the nature. And so this recognition of all phenomena as being of the nature of emptiness, that it is the nature of the Tathagata Garbha, recognizing that is the lakton, or vipassana, or profound insight aspect of this practice. So now it really is finished for today.